Hey everyone, it's Xant. So, maintenance has finally concluded, and we have our 1.3 update. Now, I'm going to make a separate video talking about the update itself. This one is purely just going to be about my impressions for the new suits and pilots, like I normally do. So, don't expect me to talk too much about the new patch. So, let's get going, and we'll start off with the welfare. Okay, this has changed. Where are we going? Exchange. Okay, Crimson Wings chip exchange. Cool. Gundam Throne Drei. So, let's take a look at our max values here. When speed attribute, mid-shot attack raised. Okay. Like, that's not really a high enough percent to make it worth it, especially not with the shot attack specs on it. Nah, not really that great. I don't even say I'd call that passable. Alright, let's look at the chest. EX skill damage reduced while support. Okay, so that can increase longevity of a support machine. Maybe that's useful? I'm drawing a blank right now when I'm trying to think about other torsos that we've had in the game that give a good buff for a support unit, so lacking anything else, this could just add the bit of longevity to the machine, let it heal you and buff you for longer, which obviously is a plus. Okay, arms. Not really melee, not really shot. GN shield pod, B plus D spread, pretty basic. Launch GN missiles from your shield. Okay, and that's oh, and it has an integrated shield too. Yikes. Yeah, no, those specs are very, very, very bad for those for an arm with a integrated shield. Okay, legs. Support job, EX skill cooldown reduced. Okay, so that's really nice, because one of the big things with a support machine, right, is you want it to be able to heal you, you want it to be able to use its buffs, ability, whatever. So being able to just reduce your EX cooldown by 15% is pretty useful. But again, I haven't been paying too much attention to support parts and builds in particular. I know we have a couple of pilots that would have worked really well for it. But not so much parts. So I don't know if there are better legs available, but at a glance, these look pretty nice for someone that wants a good part for a support machine. Alright, back. GN Stealth Field. Oh, it's a buff, not an awakening. Okay, cool. Release a massive wave of GM particles from your back units. Melee and shot defense of allies increased. Beam and physical. So that's just a full-on defense buff. That's really nice. Now, here's the thing, right? Is I know for me, my machines have criminally low defensive stats. So these percent boosts really wouldn't do anything at all. I know some people that have extremely high stats in the defensive department. This would do very well on them. Unfortunately, as I always say, the back slot is one of the highest competition slots in the game. So even for a support machine, I don't know if this is going to be very, well, not very good. It looks quite nice for a support, but I don't know if it'll dethrone the other options, for lack of a better way to phrase it. Weapon, very low melee attack. When your supporter job, melee damage up, your support machine really shouldn't even be attacking. It should be staying back, using ranged EX skills if it has it for stuttering, heals, things like that. That's, oof. And pilot, Nena Trinity. Support, alright, so it's like an all-in-one kit, cool. EX skill recovery. Oh, that'd be nice if any of her EX skills or any of her suit's parts had heals on them, but they don't. Yeah. Her stats are kinda... No, not kind of, they are bad. Her word tags are really nothing to look at either. So this is kind of like a pocket support pilot if you lack any others. But I definitely would not recommend using her for really much, if anything. So looking over the entire Gundam Throne Drei and Nena, the only real part I look at and go, yeah, this is quite nice, are the legs, and only for shot builds, or not shot, support builds. Everything else is kinda, either it's just completely lacking in stats, or just not useful. Alright, oh, and they've split up the exchange shop, so that's not all just one big long page. Nice, okay. Cool. Well, now that we've looked at the welfare, let's take a look at our gacha goodies. We'll start with the Sokai. What do we got? Sazabi. And both these new suits are 4-star, right? Yes. Cool. Okay. Let's get into it. So, wow. Those stats are really low for the offensive side. Enemy shooting power reduced. Okay. Unfortunately, for a Sokai part, like, that sounds really nice, but like, you're not going to be able to max that out easily. That's just not very useful. Ouch. What about the chest? You looking better? Okay, melee and shot attacker existent. Mega particle scatter cannon, AD spread. You just fire it off, cool. Okay, straightforward ability. High firepower and close combat, that's a weird split. So decent armor, decent offensive specs on it, okay. Okay. Nothing amazing, but pretty good. Nice arms, 3000 plus, okay. When armor is 70% or less melee power boost. If that was more, I think that would be a lot better. But with less, you're forcing yourself to take damage in order for that to be viable. But I guess that's why it has high firepower and close combat. It looks to be kind of a split between melee and shot. The arms are okay. Unfortunately, the trait's not really amazing, but the stats are nice. I still think that there's definitely better available in the free, well, not free, but the premium select pool. Okay, legs. Alright. Stats are stats. With technique attribute, EX skill cooldown reduced. Okay. Okay. Like, the benefit that the legs of the throne had, you just needed a support license. This one though, this requires you to have the technique attribute. Now, the thing with that, right, is it's a lot easier to just slot a support pilot to get the ability than it is to build your entire machine around technique, if you think about it from an average perspective. The ability itself is nice, your EX skill cooldown gets you a nice reduction, but for legs that aren't going to be on a support machine, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's competition. Competition with the Red Astray, among other things. Alright, backpack. Are you gonna blow me away? Funnel combination. Launch 6 funnels and throw a tomahawk. I'm going to assume that's a cutscene. D Pierce, A minus power. Cool. Cool. Ace exclusive, high firepower. That's a nice sounding back right there. That gives you all the word tags that you'd really want for a shot machine. Ace exclusive and high firepower there. It has decent specs stat wise for a backpack, and it has a cutscene EX skill. Now, the only thing I wonder is if it has a dash or not, because apparently that really makes or breaks a part to a lot of players these days. So to me it doesn't, but you know, it's the way it is. Cool. That's a pretty good part. You know, of course it's the backpack, but what can you do? Okay, Beam Tomahawk. I like that weapon model. 4,110. Unless I'm mistaken, that is the highest melee attack in the game on a single weapon. I know we have a beam rifle. I'm pretty sure it's the new Gundam's beam rifle that has 4,110 for shots. So this is pretty cool. B plus C spread. 3-second cooldown. So it looks more like a spammy skill. Cool. High firepower, close combat, odd spread, but you know, at least it has close combat tag. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah, and then with the max value marked, whew, I'm not even gonna get into those marks, that's just crazy. We're gonna look at it without marks. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Definitely that axe is pretty nice. Alright, beam shot rifle. Are you gonna wow me too? Not really. Special shot crit rate boost is pretty useless. High firepower ace exclusive. I don't think, unfortunately, it's worth the word tags considering what you lose on these stats, but if you're looking to build a very specific machine, this could alleviate other tag slots for you so you can slot other stuff. Like if you got the Sazabi back and its gun here, you'd have, out of 2 slots, 4 word tags going, 2 of each, right? 2 high firepower, 2 ace exclusive. And that gives you a lot of flexibility as to what the rest of your parts would be. So, maybe? Maybe. But unfortunately the shot attack is a little lower than I was hoping. If it was like 3,600, I'd be pretty impressed, but... Or even if it had, you know, a good trait. Anyways. So... Alright, Sazabi shield. Looks really cool. I'll give it that. High power, firepower, ace exclusive again. Decent spec, small missiles, DB spread, 11 shots. Cool. Cool, okay. Pocket missiles, so like a stutter. Alright. Good defensive. Alright. Alright, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's a nice combination of everything for a shot machine. But, Shame it's a Sokai. I would have liked to premium select that one, so I didn't have to use Johnny Ridden's Gelgoog shield. Or are we on the Night Gundam? Okay, so looking over the entire Sazabi, the legs are interesting. I just don't think that they're very handy when you think about other legs that can go on a machine. If you lack any good legs, maybe this will be nice for you because of the skill cooldown reduction. Just, sorry, I just woke up recently. With the technique attribute requirement, though, it kind of puts a little bit of a limit on what you can do with them. Still decent parts based on that trait. The backpack looks really nice, has good word tags, the cutscene EX skill. What more could you want in a backpack, really? The beam weapon is pretty cool with the highest melee attack that I know of in the game off the top of my head. Interesting word tag selection, close combat and high firepower. Yeah, pretty nice. And the shield looks good too, and the beam shot rifle has the nice word tag and decent stat combo. So overall, I'd say the Sazabi is actually a pretty nice machine. It could do better in some aspects regarding traits, but I think overall it's actually probably one of the better suits. No surprise, you know, it's a Sokai, but even then, we've had some interesting Sokai suits. So, let's look at the Night Gundam now. Okay, with power attribute, EX skill, power boost. Cool. More damage is good damage, am I right? Shot attack is a lot lower than I'd expect on a head. Okay. So I'm assuming this is going to definitely be melee spec'd. Or focused, I should say. There's our SD tackle skill that we saw in the stream. A-, B-. Oh. Okay. So that, I think, has beaten out the spreads of things like Particle Fajin, among other things. Whether or not it actually does as much damage is up in the air. I haven't actually seen it yet. And you also get to lower the enemy Gunpla's melee attack. Not that useful. I think reducing their melee defense might have been better, considering this definitely goes on a physical machine, but, you know, take what you can get. Cool. Cool. Good melee stat distribution on that though. Cool. Cool. Okay. Arms. So we have the return of the melee crit rate. Interesting. The melee attack on these arms is actually even lower than the Sazabi, and the word tags are markedly, well, I'm not going to say useless, but markedly not as good. Cool. I'd say this part is okay at best, and even that's pushing it. The trait doesn't really complement it very well. You know, melee crit rate boost is eh. The melee attack's not really high enough to make it worth investing into, honestly. And the word tags are eh. So, it's a part. Okay, legs. Are you gonna wow me? With Gundam type, EX skill cooldown reduced? Okay. Now the thing is with Gundam type is that's not a typical word tag that you'd see on a lot of builds. Most people are going for like ace exclusive, high firepower, a close combat, pro tag, things like that. Gundam type sometimes goes hand in hand with the melee builds, but it's pretty rare to see pop up, so I don't really see how, I want just normal max value, not max value mark. I don't really see how this will be useful to many players. It's already a pretty rare word tag to start with. Close combat at least is one of the tags, that's pretty nice. If only it was pro tag or whatever, but you know, take what you can get. The stats are okay. Alright. So that's an interesting one, but I don't think the trait is very handy considering the word tag it requires. Alright, backpack, you gonna blow my mind too? Super Electro Spear, B+, B-. That's a healthy spread. Unleash a barrage with your Electro Spear and a lightning attack. Cool. Close combat and Gundam type tags. Pretty high melee attack on that backpack. Nice. Good stats, okay. 3 seconds. That's not a cutscene. It's interesting, because it has a very nice stat distribution in terms of melee offensive, and it has a close combat tag, but I don't know how useful that EX skill really is in comparison to what other available options there are. If this did something extra, like reduce their defense or gave a small melee buff, I'd say it would be a lot better. As it is, I'd say it's a consideration part. Not really something you should wail for, but it could be interesting to get. Mainly just the distribution and the EX skill. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. The Night Gundam's actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Alright, the Night Sword. 3,681 melee, and the Comet Sword DB plus spread. 6 seconds initial, 21 seconds, so that doesn't look like a cutscene, and close combat tag with Gundam type. Okay. So, a lot like the backpack, it has a very interesting stat spread going on. The backpack had higher than average, this has about average, though, so I guess that's one big difference. But the EX skill situation is pretty much the same. It looks pretty cool, but I think it would have been a lot better if there was an extra effect, a buff or a debuff attached to it. It's okay. In my opinion, there's better available in the premium select pool. And our last thing, the Night Shield. Okay. Decent defensive stats with power attributes, shooting damage taken reduced. Because it's a flat number, it's not really that useful. When a shot machine is hitting you for like 1,000 plus damage, 35 is a drop in the ocean, so to speak. So, not really that useful. Okay. So looking over the entire Night Gundam here, there's really nothing that made me go like, you know, wow, this is great. The backpack, I think, had me stuck on it the longest, trying to determine whether or not it's really good or just okay. And I think after mulling it over, I'd say it's pretty okay. Not great or anything. And the SD tackle here on the chest also looked pretty cool, especially with the high melee spread. But this again comes down to only really useful if you don't have a chest that already complements your build. Because remember, this is a Sokai, meaning even though the rates are boosted, you are competing with a lot in the pool, and it's going to be very hard, if not nigh impossible, for you to really get the EX skill on this capped out unless you wail very hard. So it's really up to you if you want to get it or not. The stats are nice, but I think you could probably build something better with premium. Okay. And on to the pilots. Sarah should be a 3-star, if I remember right. I gave Dandy some crap for making his post say she's 4-star. Yep. Cool. Alright, she's a supporter. Alright. Wow, those stats. Oh, debuff EX skill effect up. Cool, okay. So that's nice if you get like a defense hack or something like that. Okay. That's okay. That's definitely okay. Unfortunately, her stat distribution is, well, piss poor. But because she's a support, not really meant for front line, I guess that is negligible, and her trait's really what's important here. But as it stands already, defense hacks, offense hacks, all those debuffs last a rather long amount of time, so I don't really know if extending them is really even necessary. Nah. And full frontal. When you're Xeon, initial EX skill charge boost by, what's your max? 20%? 6% at EX1 is practically nothing, so you definitely would have to get into at least like EX5 or 6 to make it worthwhile. Is it worth it though? With Xeon. Xeon's a weird tag. Even though a large chunk of suits have it, at least suits that are like 3-star, 4-star, it's not the greatest of tags. It's only a 5% defensive style boost, a lot like Gundam type. So, and stats, alright, so he's pretty much like, I was gonna say Mikazuki, but Mikazuki had a little more armor to him. But he has the melee and shot even spread. His word tags are okay. Alright. Well, I'll definitely say Full Frontal's an okay pilot. He doesn't have 1600 in shot, which I was expecting, but I guess he did kind of do a little bit of column A, column B, which is shown by his Outfighter job license, so okay. So this Sokai was interesting. There's really nothing like knock your socks off amazing, but there were some pretty okay parts in here, some good parts too. The Sazabi did a lot better than I thought it would statistically. How many parts on it actually were pretty good in comparison to the parts that weren't, when you look at all the past Sokais, so that's nice. Anyways, I'm going to wrap up the video here. I've already been recording for long enough for this. After this video, I'm going to start poking around all the new features and just kind of give my opinions on them. Because apparently 1.3 added a lot of stuff under the hood from what I saw in my brief little pokings here. So anyways, peace out guys, and I will see you in the next one.